Will the party ever start? I think so, right?
It's going to.
All right. Because it's happy hour again at the Banter Bar?
And it's so good to be back.
So, you know the drill. I'm Shane. This is
Toby.
Yeah. We're going to drink 6 beers, rate them, answer some questions along the way. Feel free to join us in the comments for your own answers. We want to hear them. Let's jump right in, shall we?
Let's do it.
You have any special things you want to share with anybody or anything? No, me either.
Think so.
Me either.
My life is very boring.
Same. But beer
Until this.
is not usually disappointing.
No, sir.
Paulaners Hefe-Weizen. I said that correctly. I do not know. Always want to say Hefeweizen or Hefe or something. I don't know.
I would assume Hefeweizen's all right. Our question is, what would you like to see normalized in our society?
All right, so the bottle makes it sound like this is purposely basic.
Okay.
Brewed according to purity laws for over 400 years. Nearly 400 years.
For nearly 400 years. As long as it's not 400 years old in the bottle.
Man, it looks semi-unfiltered too. There's a bunch of gunk on the side. You can smell it. That's what we
cheers.
Beer. Yep.
It's a wheat beer.
Yep. Think wheat bread that's got that bright cardamom spice pop. You're in the right ballpark. It's nicely sweet.
Yeah, it's got almost like an oat sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
Not as rough as an oatmeal stout, but still an oat sweetness to it.
Yeah, the mouthfeel is not heavy at all. It's more in line with, like a light beer or a typical American beer that you would get. But good.
You think you could drink a whole 6-pack of that?
I don't know.
It seems like it'd be very filling.
Yeah.
There's not as thick as a Guinness or some other type stouts, but it would be very filling. I'm
trying to figure out if the spice note would just eventually become too much. It's like certain holiday foods.
Right.
Do you want to eat the whole, plate? Not the whole plate, because if it's Thanksgiving, fuck yeah, we're eating the whole plate. You know what I mean? Like the whole, what do you call it?
The whole table spread.
Yeah. Probably not.
I think I'll still give it a 6.
I'm going to give it 7.
Okay.
7 sounds right.
So what would you like to see normalized in our society?
Here's an easy one.
Okay.
Income caps.
Income caps. Okay.
I tried to think a lot about who has the most important job that you can think of. And I tend to fall toward president, you know, and people shouldn't be allowed to get as rich as they want to be. That's all there really is to it. Even if you made that amount of money, I think you live in a society that allowed you to make that amount of money. So you should expect that your governing body will take a lot of that money and do good for the public's sake with it. Unfortunately, that's not what happens in our society, so I would like to see that normalized.
Okay.
That's me.
What would you like to see normalized? I don't know that I can top that one. That's a good answer. I like it. I think maybe pay for after hour work.
Okay.
We both have teachers as wives.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot that goes into the outside of the classroom work that teachers just don't get paid for.
This is correct.
And so either either raise teacher pay or I don't know what the answer would be, but there needs to be better pay for outside of our work.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows, everybody I believe in our society knows that teachers do not work in classroom hours only.
Yeah. Even if we just ignore teachers, not like we ignore teachers, even if we just think about maybe whatever the most basic job you can think of is, right? Burger flipper is everyone's go-to standard thing. Anyone who decides to get up and work for a living, I think, deserves a basic minimum met. And we don't get that. We're kind of exploited for our labor. And there are a lot of places in the world that are beginning to experiment with working fewer hours because that actually seems to increase productivity.
Okay.
But here we still like to ignore that fact.
Right.
Anyway, I like the answer. Okay. I definitely like the answer. Next up, I believe is Bud Light Platinum. Yes, it is. It's brewed for the night. Whatever the fuck that means.
I may have only had this once in my entire drinking span.
I'm pretty sure it's my brother-in-law, Michael, who has been on the show, that absolutely adored this.
Okay.
Could be thinking of the wrong person. Sorry, Mike, if you're watching and I got it wrong. But I've seen this around a lot at family gatherings. And when you pair it side by side with something like just normal Bud Light, this came out on top.
Okay.
At least when I was drunk.
Our question is, have you taken part in a protest?
Okay.
It still smells just like a Pilsner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a little off-putting to me. But lacing looks good. It smells like it's going to be flavorful but light.
There's a bit of an aftertaste of sweetness there. Very sugary.
Mm-hmm. But it's not bitter beer.
But it's not bitter beer. Yeah, no bitter beer face. So is the alcohol content more in the Bud Light Platinum than a regular Bud Light?
Probably. This is 6%. I don't know what the...
Okay.
I don't know what the normal is.
Normal's probably going to be down around 4, I would think.
That's what I would think, too.
Okay. Very sugary. I feel like it would give me a headache.
Yeah.
After drinking too much.
You get more of the Pilsner after a while.
It does, but not bad. I mean...
Would it give you a headache faster?
I would think so.
Okay. I was like, hold on.
Yeah, I think your headache would come faster.
Man, I'm going to go 5.
I was thinking 5.
Yeah. I'm not off put by it, but my socks aren't anywhere close to blown off by it.
I agree.
I don't know why I keep saying that. I don't want anything to blow my socks off, you know?
So, have you taken part in a protest? And I'll answer this one first.
Yes, please.
I have signed a petition for a protest, but I have not marched in a protest.
Okay.
So, the plumbers, the Texas Plumbing Board was trying to...
He's
the state was trying...
So to make that seem a little less random.
Yeah, I'm a plumber. And the plumbing board was trying to... Basically, the state was trying to abolish our plumbing board.
Okay.
And all the plumbing laws that Texas has. And Texas is one of the most stringent states.
Okay.
Plumbing-wise. A lot of other states, you just get licensed by the communities you're working in. We have a state organization.
Mm-hmm.
And I signed a petition to keep
our plumbing in place.
Yeah, keep our plumbing board.
Cool.
So that's mine.
Well, I would have signed that petition too. I did not know that was a thing until just now. So sorry, plumbers board. I don't know how that happened. I'm guessing nothing changed because very little does.
Right.
But yeah, I have taken part in a protest, and I'm fairly opinionated with regard to politics. And sadly, I don't remember the specifics of the protest itself. I want to say it was... My old office was right down the street from one of the Blue Cross Blue Shield buildings.
Okay.
And I think when the healthcare mandate became a thing under Obama, it was... People were going to do a protest against, that becoming a thing. Like, don't make these fuckers richer, which I get that. But I want to say we went out there because we thought it would be funny to do an anti-protest. So we just made smart-ass fucking whatever these people were saying just to hold up in front of the cars and piss those people off. I think we did a good job. So I think that's what was going on. But you didn't protest, you anti-protested. Yeah, we kind of just protesting. We made a mockery of their protest. It was an Inception type thing. Yeah. Awesome. That's my only political activist experience. So all right. So Fireman's number 4. Yeah. Which is another from Real Hell, which I keep saying is one of my favorite breweries because they do brew a lot of beers that I really love. We've only had 1, maybe 2 of those on the show so far, but it's a blonde. Oh, good God. A blonde that gives very good head. Being dirty. Dripping all over everything. So our question, first floor apartment or second floor apartment? Smells good. It does. Almost like a very light lemon bread scent. Something like that. Okay. This smells a lot better than I expected it to smell. It almost tastes like a mix of Paulaner, the one we just had, and a Corona. Yeah. There's something citrusy to it. Yeah, there's a little bit of a citrus bite. But it's smooth. It doesn't have much in the way of an aftertaste. It's not hard to get down. So I think you could blow through this shit if you really wanted to. That's a good 6-pack beer. Yeah. So if you're just looking to get them down as quickly as possible, this is going to help. And it will taste good while it does. My problem with it is I want something that's going to stick around a little more, especially something that smells this good and does taste this good up front. There's just not much aftertaste there for me. I'm still going to call it a 6. Just a 6. I'm going to go with a 7. So we're just flipped on our Paulaner and our Firemans. All right. First floor, by the way. First floor. Mm-hmm. Even with the upper noise. Yes. So I don't want to be the person who's making all the noise above somebody else. That makes sense. I also don't want to deal with stairs all the time. And I know from our time spent in the was it the townhouse? Mm-hmm. Is that what that thing was? That the second stories of a building, the higher up you go, the warmer they tend to be and the harder they have to work to cool things to where I like them. So my electric bills would be higher, I would expect. Okay. Your reasoning and your answer? My answer is probably going to be first floor as well, because I've had to move off of a second floor. It's horrible. No fun. So first floor as well. The sounds, it's annoying, but I think the move's probably more annoying from a second floor, so I'd probably go first also. Yeah. So Guinness Extra Stout. Yes. Which I've had this a few times recently, and I've been a little confused. Okay. I'm pretty sure they were selling a foreign Extra Stout for a while. Okay. That I really, really loved. And I think the first time I ever had this, which as you can see, it is not doesn't Guinness have drought. Right. Doesn't have the nitrogen cartridge. Doesn't have Let me try to. So I'll give this sumbitch the heaviest pour I can, right? I mean, but there's still not a lot of carbonation to it. So, I don't know. It just doesn't present the same way. I can already tell you without drinking. If you're looking for something, if you love the full-bodied flavorness of Guinness, but you don't want the creamy, make it go down too smooth sort of thing, or you don't like that, nitro sensation, then this might be up your alley. Foreign Extra was like even fucking darker and richer.
Okay. Huh.
But I had this on draft before I ever had a Guinness Drought.
Okay.
And found it completely off-putting, and I'm still trying to get that out of my head.
Huh. Well. Still has the coffee type aromas.
Mm-hmm. Chocolate. That's what I'm smelling. Chocolate is not what I'm tasting.
No.
That's closer to a porter.
Yeah.
It's got that metal sour thing to it. I don't know what you would call that.
It's which I think a porter is still really close to a stout, but this is even thicker than a stout because it's extra. But as you can tell in the name,
it is heavy.
But it's not bad.
Mm-mm.
Remember the Ugly Pug? I think it was Rar and Sons.
Yeah.
It's very close to a Rar and Sons Ugly Pug, I think.
And flavor profiles on beers like this, even when they're heavy, the mouthfeel can get way too crowded, I guess. It's like if you're eating a chocolate cake that has chocolate ganache and it's chocolate chips in it and everything is just too chocolate.
Okay.
It just kind of dulls everything and you don't notice. That's not going on here. I can still make out the flavors in this beer. It still tastes pretty good.
I think it's really good. I personally don't think it's as good as a Guinness Drought.
No.
Some of the Guinness Droughts are some of my favorite beers. But this is still a 6. It's still a good beer.
I'm going to give it a 7. I would still drink it over a lot of other things. It's not my favorite beer, but it is a high quality beer.
Mm-hmm.
Very unique flavor profile and mouthfeel and yada, yada, yada. All the dumb beer nerd stuff that I could say.
Right. So, which restaurant or bar has the most inviting atmosphere? I'm going to say Old Chicago.
Oh, man.
Because Old Chicago has an app that you give your phone number or whatever, and when you go in there and you try your beers, they keep track of what beers you have, and they have what they call a tour, a mini beer tour. They have the world tour, different types of tours, and they actually give you back items. Very friendly atmosphere. Whether you're at the bar or at a normal table, it's kind of cool.
Oh, it's more than kind of cool. It's exquisite, and the sheer amount of variety that you can get there rivals those places where you go, the tap houses, the brew houses, where you can just get things on draft and try them. And and it doesn't hurt that. The pizza, really any of the food we've had there has been fucking
food
great.
Is good. The pepperoni rolls are amazing.
I, again, can't think of the name of the place that I'm trying to come up with.
Okay.
One of my favorite restaurant bar type places are the drinking arcades where you can get beers and drafts, and they usually serve like sub sandwiches and shit like that you can get off of a grill. Cannot for the life of me think of what those places are called, but if you have one locally, definitely go and check them out. The only time I can remember having that much fun, just because it was so different, is at like a Topgolf. Okay, it's a different experience.
But it's an arcade bar.
Yeah, you just go around and play whatever you want at the arcades. Like, it's just a bunch of arcade machines with grown-ups walking around. I think before a certain time period, kids can go in.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say you pay a fee up front, and then you can just play anything you want for free.
Okay.
But obviously the drinks and the food and everything else cost money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably why a lot of them are going under right now with COVID stuff. But an excellent experience coming from someone who really misses the fact that you don't find much in the way of arcades in malls anymore.
Right.
Sucks.
You want to move on?
Shiner.
All right.
Shiner's Light Blonde. Only has 99 calories in 12 ounces. So this has double that.
Right.
Whatever that is. I've been drinking. Shiner Big Boy. It's light done right. Well, we'll see about that. Actually, I'm going to let you pour first because I'm going to clean my cups.
So, how far into the ocean could you swim before being sufficiently freaked out?
Now, this one I do remember
This
writing.
is a good question.
This smells like a combination of these two. Like the scent is completely a combination of these.
Well, it tastes along the lines of a Bud Light, Coors Light. I mean,
I'm going to go back to your Corona. I'm going to say watered down Corona. Just a little bit.
That's
not super watered down.
Okay.
It's not offensive, but it doesn't really pack a punch for me. But I'm here to tell you, if you were at a party and you had a big boy, you could get lit real fast. 4. So how far into the ocean could you swim before being sufficiently freaked out? Well, I've never had a tape measure on me. Okay. And given, the tide, waves, whatever, coming in and out. You
currents, all kinds of.
I would say when the water beneath me is more than like 15, 20 feet.
Okay.
No.
I would agree with that. Having been snorkeling in the ocean, and knowing, hey, I can see the bottom, but I can't even get halfway there. It's a little freaky. Yeah. I mean,
just a little bit.
So yeah, I mean, and it gets deep really quick. Mm-hmm. So without having a tape measure, if the bottom is unreachable or unseeable, like I said, we couldn't reach it, and we could still see it clear as day. Yeah. But if I can't see the bottom, I'm done.
And what's weird is you can barely see the bottom of a lake once you get 2 or 3 foot in.
Right.
Never freaked me out. We used to swim way past the buoys at the swim areas. Was never freaked out by any of it. It had to been, getting to the 30-foot range underneath your feet at least. But it was fine. Something about the ocean, and it's just going to keep getting deeper.
Yeah, it's much
worse. What the
worse.
fuck might be coming the other way at you?
Right, it's much worse.
Not for me.
So Dos Equis, lager, lime, and salt.
So for certain viewers who have been dying for the Banter Bar to feature some lime and salt drinks, here we go. I do still want to get some feedback from everyone about what the best beers to put lime or salt in are, and then try those.
So my opinion is salt does not belong in a beer.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like salt.
This may not be for you.
It may not be for me.
I can smell it.
But do you think any 3-in-1 body wash works as well as its individual counterparts?
Totally thought you were talking about beer still. I was thrown off like, what?
Yeah. Very limey though too.
Yeah.
It
was salt at first, and now it's pretty good combination of both.
My hope is the lime outdoes the salt. Dos Equis Amber is really good with the lime.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there. Oh, I am surprised.
I'm not.
This beer is not heavy in salt.
Yeah, don't think beer. If you think beer here, you're in the wrong spot.
Okay.
This is not for beer drinkers. If you're somebody who loves the whole doing a tequila shot, because you get the salt and then you get the lime, and then there's some alcohol that follows, this is for you.
Okay.
100%. And as someone who doesn't usually drink liquor, but really loved that particular shot experience,
Okay.
this is hitting home.
That's actually pretty good.
Now, what's sad is I can't really rate the beer at all. The base of the beer, no idea. I taste salt and lime.
Yeah.
I can tell it's not liquor, but you could have told me it was like, I don't know, apple juice, and I would believe you. Because they've got about as much in common.
I still couldn't see myself drinking a 6-pack. But splitting one of these, I'd be fine drinking it.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 5. It's decent.
The only thing that would worry me here is how much salt is in it. Because that's going to dehydrate you further.
Yeah.
And I don't want a really bad hangover.
They did a good job of covering the salt with the lime. So you get enough salt if you are a salt person.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not, it does have enough lime to hide it.
Yeah, because you would definitely be telling us if that weren't the case.
Yeah, I was really scared I was going to give this a 0 or a 1.
It really just feels like a sprinkle on top of like lime juice. Like a sprinkle of salt. Just barely there. And I dig that. I'm going to go all the way up to a 7 for this one.
Okay.
Which is pretty good considering I can't even tell it's beer.
Right. So do you think any 3-in-1 body wash works as well as its individual counterpart?
I have to say probably not.
Okay.
Is knowing what I know about face lotions and, just what face washes in general do, the active ingredients that fight the oiliness of a face like mine, you don't want it having the same effect on your hair and the rest of your skin and everything. So I can't imagine that, like a lot of shampoos, or not shampoos, it's conditioners, have like wax particles in them to make your hair softer.
Okay.
It's not really what you want to put on your face to be clogging pores. Right. And I'm not going to go too much deeper there. I highly doubt it.
Okay.
Do I still like them and appreciate that they exist? Hell yes, I do. Because when you're going on a trip, there's nothing like just grabbing that. Do it all.
Right.
By the way, we were sitting around with some family at one point, and one of our cousins was going off about her boyfriend at the time using these things because she didn't understand like why you would do that. It's akin to just putting normal soap on your face, and why would you do that? And you use different things for your hair. And I have to say that I've questioned it a little more as I've gotten older because we have hair all over our faces. So it's like, do you shampoo your face or do you use face wash on your face? Do you do both? I have no idea.
Okay.
Anyway, what's your answer?
Well, 30 minutes later. 3-in-1, by your description, I'm going to assume means it includes shampoo.
I think
not just body wash.
Most likely, they're thinking body, shampoo, and conditioner.
Okay.
But in my head, I'm thinking body, face, head.
Okay.
Like a combination shampoo and conditioner, which kind of 4-in-1.
I'm going to say no as well, but I've never used a 3-in-1.
Really?
Yeah. If I'm going to shampoo, I'm going to shampoo. If I'm going to use body wash or soap, I use body wash or soap. So I guess I have to say, as well as no, I'm going to have to say no. So I guess we're in agreement.
Yeah, nothing wrong with some agreement. And would you grab more of the Guinness?
I grabbed more Guinness.
See,
I'm a dark beer person, though.
Yeah.
I like Guinness.
I'm still here where we started. That having been said, let's keep the conversation going in the comments. We'll see you next time, same place, for another round of
The Banter Bar.
I'm Shane.
I'm Toby.
Bye, folks.
I'll just leave you a little sip.
Peace and love to all. I think I could drink quite a bit of this.
I just want to see how it feels in my mouth.
I guess we'll see you next time.
On the Banter Bar.